What up, y'all? Today I wanted to make a little bit of a video while I'm on my hike at Potato Mountain, talking about how you can get some good footage even in the middle of the day. It's about 1 p.m. right now. The sun is pretty much directly in the middle of the sky. As you can tell, like right here it's shaded, and then right there is in the sun. My first tip about how to get good quality images in the middle of the day is, number one, use an ND filter. Just removed my ND filter. This is a Canon ND filter. It's a 67mm thread, fits right on my Canon 12mm 2.0. It also fits on my 100mm macro. Simply twist it on the threading at the end of your lens. This particular filter is a 10 stop, meaning it will change your exposure by 10 stops. On the side there are dials where I can have it here at the brightest and then move it all the way at the darkest. You know, let's say you want to shoot in 24 frames per second. That means that you're going to want your shutter 1/50 or 1/48 for the most cinematic look. Let me show you why you always want to have your shutter speed at least twice your frame rate. So right now I'm shooting in 60 frames per second with shutter 1/25. Now watch what happens as I drop the shutter to 100. It gets a little bit brighter. Drop it a little lower. Turn back this way. Can you see how slow these frames are moving? See that motion blur? I'm down to 50 and bring it back up to 120. Boom, perfect. See what I'm saying? So your shutter speed, for those who don't know, it's basically how fast the picture is taken. So when you're shooting video and when you're choosing an option like 60 frames per second or 24 frames per second, all this is it's taking a bunch of pictures really fast, precisely 24 times per second or 60 times per second. The reason why 24 frames is the benchmark for cinematic film look is because that is the closest to the speed of which our eyes process. So when you shoot a little bit faster at 60 frames per second, it's moving a little bit faster than what we see in real life, or a little more than twice as fast. What I do, or what you can do if your camera shoots 60 frames per second, is slow it down 40% and it'll play through as if it's at 24 frames per second, which is how I get my very smooth look on these B-roll shots as well as my music videos and other types of cinematic content. If you're shooting in the middle of the day and you want to get good shots, don't have them half in the shade and half in the sun. For example, I'm going to use some B-roll clips of this little flower bush behind me. I'm getting a shot of this flower. What I'm going to do is I'm going to push my ND filter darker to get that blue in the sky and see how it's half in the shade, half in the sun. I'm just going to get the flower and the part that's in the sun. So get that in focus. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. My ND filter down to let some more light in. Go ahead and pretend like that half doesn't exist, and boom. Now I'm shooting in the shade. Got some beautiful flowers. But if I were to shoot it like this, look, this section is way darker than that section. That section needs to come down in brightness, in exposure. Easy fix. Don't show the sun. Oh shit. Alright. Oh man, this is way harder than it used to be. See graffiti on the wall? This is hard. I was shooting music video like this. Sucks that this Canon doesn't have autofocus, but making it work. Another example. Look how bad that looks right there. Last tips for shooting in the middle of the day. Use a diffuser. I don't have one on me right now. It got stolen. It's a panel that you would put in front of the sun to soften it, to come in between your sun and your subject. Just makes it a little bit softer. Last tip I have for shooting in the middle of the day, probably the best one is just wait a couple hours if possible. Just wait till you get the sun a little bit nicer, a little bit softer, and you'll be able to get way better footage. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you don't know who I am, my name is Roman Gonzalez. I am a traveling photographer, videographer, specializing in music videos. I started off in Phoenix, got a little bit popping after a couple months of doing music videos. I was doing them for $20, $30, $50, offering people free videos. People were turning them down. People were having me shoot their video for free and then fucking throwing it in the trash, not even posting it. I got a little bit of a buzz in Phoenix within maybe 6 months of starting to shoot music videos and building a portfolio. And then a bunch of other videographers, music video directors, talented ones too, started popping up. And I started losing clients, you know, and at the time I thought that was a bad thing. But basically it forced me to get on the road and to search in new cities, new markets for clients, going on 2, 3 US tours, just driving across the country, living in my Prius, no money, no clientele, just getting it. Just finding clients, finding work wherever I can. If I didn't get a gig that day, I didn't sleep in a bed, you know, or I didn't eat. And yeah, it was really stressful, but it was so fucking worth it. I now have clientele in pretty much every major city in the US, and I'm still continuing to you know, find work. If you want to do client work, you gotta find new clients, especially if you're not doing any type of monthly subscription. Got some quick news for you guys, for those of you who do follow me. I actually just accepted a new position as a marketing coordinator for Pago LA, a mobile grooming company. So I'll be running all the marketing and social media, new groomer acquisition, new customer acquisition for them. So be on the lookout for, I'm gonna try and share as much of that like kind of corporate side of what I do, and continue to bring you guys value. So I appreciate you. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, drop me a sub, drop me a comment. Appreciate you guys. Stay creative.